Ford Credit Bonus Cash on a great selection of SUVs. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, get our best offer of the season. 0% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 Ford Credit Bonus Cash.
I'm Akia Turner. You can catch me every weekend morning right here on WSA 9.
So this one's pretty interesting. Chances are you'll have an opinion on it. A New York man tweeted photos of himself wearing a shirt that's drawn both criticism and praise. We talked to him on Skype this morning. Let's let Frederick Joseph tell you the story.
So the shirt that I wore is a shirt that's a parody of the Washington Redskins logo. Instead of having a Native American in the middle, it has a white man. And instead of saying Redskins, it says Caucasians. And the reason I wore it actually was because when I saw this shirt, I just knew that people would be reactive to it. Now, how people would be reactive, I didn't know, but I knew that, that would happen in some way, shape, or form, because to me, it was a way to kind of point a mirror back at people who are wearing, sports paraphernalia, brands and things of that nature that do actually show racially charged and disparaging images. I've been a Black man in this country for about 3 decades now, so I understand how this country works. And for those who don't get what that means, I would just say put on the news. But I live in New York City, so I didn't necessarily expect people to even respond to me, right? But I've also never worn a politically charged shirt like this. People were coming up to me and calling me an asshole. People were acting like they wanted to potentially fight me. I had older people asking me why I was wearing such a disrespectful shirt. And I asked, well, if I was wearing a Washington Redskins shirt, would be a problem. And they're like, well, she's like, no, because that's the logo. I'm like, that makes literally no sense whatsoever. To anyone who's a fan of the team, whether that's, the Redskins or the Cleveland Indians, so on and so forth, take a look at the hypocrisy of the situation, right? If you had trauma in your community, or you had racial slurs or a negative history that was used to sell tickets and placed on jerseys and things of that nature, how would you feel, right? So a lot of times people don't place themselves in the shoes of others, right? But when you reverse the mirror and you take a look at if the situation was happening to you, I don't think that anyone would be happy about it, right? So because Native Americans don't necessarily have the type of audience or even voice in our country that some others do, people are ignoring the situation. And that's not okay, because I know based on what the social experiment showed, that people would not be happy if it was turned around on them. If I'm not mistaken, I think something like 10,000 people went out and bought the shirt in the last 2 days. So hopefully there's a lot more people wearing it and we can make some noise. The last thought that I'd leave people with is respect, right? Everyone wants to be respected. Everyone wants to be seen. This is not the way. This is, and you can have respect for each other and also love a football team. If it's only images and they're only words, then why not just change them?
We asked you what you thought of Frederick's shirt on Facebook. Here's what you had to say. Yeah, it's racist, says Lean, but probably not the way he thought. White supremacy, anyone? Brenda says, I think it's great. Wish I had one. I love that team. That's the only football team I ever liked, but I always felt uncomfortable with that name. And Brandon said, it's hilarious. And I'm Caucasian. I'd get roasted if I wore something like that. We want to know what you think. Tweet to us with the hashtag OffScriptOn9 or tweet me directly at AdamLongoTV. We're coming right back.
Is Meghan Markle ditching her dad for good? And how she's dealing with the drama. And what we just learned about the hunk joining the Top Gun cast.
It is so cool.
Next, ET.
Tonight at 7:30 on WUSA 9.
Imagine experiencing this level of wow, this heightened state of car buying bliss. These feelings are not uncommon at the Honda Summer Spectacular event, where you could get a great deal on the Honda Pilot with seating for up to 8. This euphoria is only available at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. So come experience it for yourself.